VCR Redux will begin in T-minus 5 minutes.
What the fart is VCR Redux?
It's the show where we take movies from the VCR era and bring them back to today.
Well, how do we do that?
Well, we start by talking about a VHS classic, and usually you'll say something like,
I haven't been this uncomfortable since I watched Meatballs 4, Meatballs to the Rescue with my parents. Oh yeah, or you'll say something stupid like,
I wish we lived in a world where the Garbage Pail Kids made as many movies as the Muppets.
but I know you'll always see it through with a positive attitude.
I hate this movie, I hate being here, I hate all of this. Oh, Jamie Kennedy. Oh, well, shit. Well, let's go for this.
He was in Son of Mask. This is genius.
I am not a gamer. I'd rather read books. I'm just
Ian's like the old lady that's like, I got video game monsters, I got movie monsters in here.
As long as we respect the passion and the artistry that went into these films.
You know, obviously they took this movie, it's 93, right? And you're like, what do you want to see in your Mario movie? And they're like, oh, we want it to be grim, we want a lot of death, we want tits and ass.
Oh, and then we start the pitch ideas with modern day sequels like
Weekend at Bernie's 3, Cocaine Mountain.
Sometimes we take it kind of seriously.
I'll watch a Paul Verhoeven alien movie.
Oh my gosh, that alien will have more vaginas than anything you've ever seen in your life. Sometimes this Hawaiian shirted fool will pitch something stupid like,
I would take out the virtual reality stuff and just have it be about Jeff Fahey mowing the lawn.
Sometimes the best pitches come from the live chat.
Alex Bonafonte also pitches Grand Theft Starfighter Vice Galaxy.
wait, I thought I had the best pitches.
And what happens at the end of the movie? The ultimate fart. The fart that the warmth goes like all the way down to your socks.
The only rules are, there are no rules. Sometimes we cross over franchises.
Only the truck from Tango and Cash can kill Christine.
And sometimes we travel back in time.
Like 1995 is missing a good Universal Soldier sequel.
But you never know what we're gonna pitch next.
What do you want Daniel Stern behind like a muzzled mask? Like,
We all know it should be Pesci behind the mask, and like underneath the mask, you should hear him going like fritter, 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 fritter.
you are so proud of yourself for that one. I can't stand you.
I would also love to see a Charles Bronson version of It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
Direct to DVD.
If you made a shot-for-shot remake of Scarface with Goofy as Al Pacino, it would be amazing. Gosh, you need me to be the bad guy.
It's like the worst 1987 Disney movie Disney's ever made. Schlongo, directed by Jim Wynorski.
Like, I would watch a whole bowl of that.
Do the John Holmes story. Add a comedy spin to it.
Wow, the Wonderland murders are so funny.
I'd watch it on my mobile.
Something happens and he goes into a coma. He gets like, hit by a car or something. I know this is dark, but like, bear with me. He's got to go on an
Did you just go like Hard to Kill with Ferris Bueller?
I'd watch it on my iPad.
If you want to just like throw in the kitchen sink, I mean, it all works. Like Alien versus Predator versus RoboCop, like if that works. Alien versus Predator versus Terminator, that works.
Alien versus Predator versus Ernest, that works.
That works.
I respect everything you just said. I need David Silver and Terry Silver and the Sloan family all learning the Quicksilver, but they're doing it in Breakin' 3 Hydraulic Boogaloo. And it's underwater. It's gonna be incredible. Eat your fucking shit out, James Cameron. I got the underwater movie you can't touch.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mr. Toxie Goes to Washington.
My ass would be in the theater tomorrow.
If Harley Quinn gets 7 movies, then Tank Girl should get at least 70.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, why should we even bother with Look Who's Talking when Air Bud is soaring to new highs?
All I know is I want Danny McBride.
I'd want him doing anything other than writing Halloween movies, honestly. Anything that keeps him away from that fucking job, I'm for it.
Just let him talk out of his butt. I don't care how he does it.
I'd rather not.
Austin Powers doing the Macarena.
That would be the opening credits. Come on.
But we have not yet had Die Hard on a half pipe. What if John McClane Jr. was a pro skateboarder and also an avid machine gun enthusiast? Skater Die Hard.
People, welcome to the 189th episode of VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2025. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most complaints, film professor Ian Klink.
Conditioner is better.
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, the third leg of our VCR tripod himself, Mac Daddy Mickey Torres is back on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And the VCR's favorite video store veteran and quintessential cosplay king, Scott Benson, is back on the show.
Going on.
Thank you so much for coming back on. We are here today to draw a blue duck, to dish out death by dodgeball, and to pee our pants Miles Davis style. That's right, folks. This world needs Billy Madison too, and we're here to give it to you. But before Ian says it's Gas Station Magazine Day, we got a dish on how Billy Madison came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes double for you at home and everyone watching the live chat. Was it Love at First Laserdisc? Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how Billy Madison came into your lives. But Scott, when did you first get Madison?
Was smack in the middle of my I guess this smack in the middle of my video store rental days. So took it home the night before it went out on the shelves and watched it. And this is one of those movies, like I said, when we talked offline, I didn't even need to watch it to refresh. We quoted the shit out of this movie when I was young. And I'm embarrassed to kind of say that, but it's like we just love this. It was because it's so stupid.
You'd be proud of
But
that.
there's so many funny lines in that movie. I mean, his getting hit on by Juanita the maid and having Norm Macdonald with his little bits and Farley with his little bits and all of that. Yeah. I must have seen this 100 times at least in the 90s.
It just was one of those weird, I don't want to overstate it, and I don't want to get too serious as we tend to on these comedy episodes, but it is kind of one of those like mini paradigm shifts of 90s comedies, this movie. And I'm sure we'll kind of...
When we talked about Night at the Roxbury a few weeks back, that's a Saturday Night Live, vehicle for those guys, Farrell and Catan. And this was Sandler's vehicle basically from SNL. But the difference is like Roxbury was just sort of a one trick pony for that, it was just that single gag that they kind of built a movie around. This Sandler was just like, just throw all of your dumb ideas out there and we'll just put them in the movie. You know what I mean? And it's just peppered with all kinds of weird, random crap that you're just like, who would even have thought to put that in anything at all? But, so.
Here's $10 million. Do that voice. Oh, okay.
Well, I think this is truly, this is Adam Sandler's Ace Ventura. This is a movie that with anyone else starring, it tanks, it bombs, But he just takes this script that like, it's not that great. It's not that like, great of a story or whatever. And it seems like you wouldn't believe it. But when he's in it, you don't care whether or not you believe it. You're just along for this like amazing, wild ride. And, there's almost this thing of like, I'll get into it later, but kind of like a Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, like passing the torch, even though this is like the year after Jim Carrey came out and owned the world. This sort of begins the Sandler run, and then the Carrey run switches to like Truman Show and Man on the Moon and shit after this. But when did Mickey first get Madison?
So you know what? Like, I think we've talked about it in this show before. Like I'm not an SNL fan
because everyone on my screen is frozen.
I'm not an SNL fan, so that's one of those things where it's basically I came in late on this. Like I probably saw, I mean, this is his first one. So I probably saw like Gilmore, Waterboy, all that stuff. And then I was like, kept on, hearing Billy Madison. I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch that. I know it's like a SNL kind of vehicle kind of thing, whatever case may be. So I was like, but I'm like, all right, well, I got to watch it. So I rented it. I was like, all right, well, I've seen this other ones. So let me rent this. And it was stupid. Like literally, like it's a stupid movie, immature, all hell, and it's a good comparison to the Ace Ventura. It's a good comparison with Ace Ventura, like, but this is like one of those things I watched afterwards, going like, this is dumb, but it's fucking hysterical. Like I just the dodgeball scene alone, like that was like the best. Yeah.
There's just something about this movie, and it's like sort of to do a big comedy movie, you always have to be somewhat of a breath of fresh air, somewhat of a palate cleanser. And like, it's I compare it to Ace Ventura. It's like one thing, kind of plays off the other. They almost had this like Beach Boys and the Beatles making albums thing going on. But Jim Carrey bowed
Yeah.
into drama too soon. And I love like Man on the Moon's like one of my favorite movies ever. So I'm not trying to like I would do Man on the Moon as a VCR episode if I thought like we could get away with it. Like I
The
would have
No, no,
concept
no, no. We're
alone-
gonna do Punch Drunk Love as an
Oh,
episode.
yeah,
Ooh,
for
don't
sure.
don't threaten me
For
with a good ass
sure.
time.
But
You know Magnolia is in the fucking works for me.
the reality of it, if you think of like the
I hope all
plot,
four of
it's
our
like
audiences enjoy that one.
if you tell somebody the plot, you're like literally, oh well, the guy goes back to like complete first through 12th grade all over again. You're like, what?
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
But
Jim Carrey kind of slingshot it. I mean, he did Ace Ventura, and then he just blew up, and he was like, Riddler and Batman. Whereas Sandler was a little more of a step because it went from this, then you had Happy Gilmore, which was a little more of a serious movie, but still very much Adam
That's
Sandler.
also
And then I think-
Happy Gilmore is like 2 years after this,
Yeah.
so it takes a
Big
while.
Daddy was
Whereas Jim
Big Daddy
Carrey had
was
the
probably
three
the
movies
turn.
in the 1 year, and like no one's gonna match that because he had three Billy Madisons essentially in 1 year.
But Sandler, it's the Tom Cruise factor that I've always said. Sandler is good at being Sandler, and I'm sure Uncut Gems. I'm sure he deserved the Oscar for. I'm not going to say he's not a good actor, but Jim Carrey had a little bit of more of an actor's bug, and I think Adam Sandler's like, you're great doing Adam Sandler. Don't do anything else, and he's been good at staying in the Adam Sandler lane. He's experimented within the lane, right? Like
I think that's not to get too deep on the Adam Sandler retrospective, but if you were talking about movies like Reign Over Me or like In Good Company or Punch Drunk Love,
Yeah,
like,
they're good.
I
They're
think
good.
you're right. He's still doing the Sandler thing. It's just applying it in a different type of movie, and I think it does work in more types of movies. Whereas Jim Carrey, you're right, he's trying to be more of a character actor. And,
and that is a huge difference for me from like where, to me, honestly, Billy Madison is a great start for Adam Sandler. It worked because it was everything Adam Sandler was doing on SNL, but it wasn't a character from SNL. I think that's what that's
same with Ace Ventura. It's like if you watched, you knew from Living Color, and now you're like, aha.
Which I think is the mistake that SNL has always done. They should not take the characters from SNL and make a movie. Lorne Michaels should just take the actor and let them develop a movie.
Yeah.
The one time they did it was Tommy Boy.
And that's
that's great.
probably
Exactly.
why
But what was successful was Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Probably why I don't like SNL movies, because I don't like SNL. So why would I watch a movie
I would,
about this character?
You like that? Knock it off. Don't lie.
Dude, I have a fondness in my heart for like all of them up until Superstar and the Ladies Man. That's where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even, But I would love to do like more of a deep dive on that. But when did Iowa Ian first get Madison?
So, and I think we have the right audience to understand this, but back in the ancient days, when we invented the wheel and bop it, in the 90s, there were some options. Cable had come in, but there was a great network that popped up called Stars. And Stars is a deep dive, I feel. Like some people can appreciate Stars and some people don't even know what Stars was. But Stars, when that came out, they were playing, in my opinion, far better movies than HBO was. And for some odd reason, Stars, it's like, what's the best example I can say, and maybe this makes sense. I at least know Chris will understand what I'm saying, is HBO would give you Alien 3 as the Saturday premiere. Stars would give you Major Pain. Okay, like
God, we have to fucking do Major Pain now.
That's the difference. And so Stars, man, when they would play a lot of these I don't say Billy Madison is a kid's movie, but maybe teenage movies. Maybe the Stars played a lot of PG-13s, right? But like Nickelodeon PG-13, not
Stars had like a family-friendly edge, but not in some
yeah.
obnoxious way, like ABC Family style. Like we sanitized this. It was just like, no, we picked the good PG-13 movies and
Yeah,
shit. And
yeah.
like,
Stars never
Didn't
really.
Stars have a lot of John Hughes type stuff? Yeah, didn't they kind
Yeah,
of
and
pull
they
from
would
the 80s
like
and stuff like that?
Stars is where I saw Enemy Mine. You know, like Stars is where I saw.
well, nobody's perfect, all right.
Hey,
It's like
Nobody bats 1,000. I
Hey,
mean.
hey, you watch it. You know my
a
stance on
horrible
that movie,
movie.
Chris.
I
That's
love
a
Louis
horrible
Gossett Jr., but that is not
God
his
dang
finest
it.
hour.
This is why we're not friends.
We'll have to do The Principal someday, so this man can get the respect he deserves
Oh,
in the show.
God.
Or Iron Eagle. We'll do Iron Eagle.
Iron
eventually.
Eagle.
Iron
Or the
Eagle.
I'm
Punisher.
missing
The
an
Punisher.
eagle or two. Yeah. Oh, that's a.
That's
Dolph
what was
Lundgren
missing.
Punisher.
I stand by that's
Well,
what's missing from Deadpool versus Wolverine is Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. I know I've said that before, but
Maybe this summer we can. Oh
but
God, I
that's
totally
but
agree with
then
you there.
Billy
Yeah.
Madison though was then the movie that I think above any other movie that I remember in high school quoting probably was Billy Madison.
I feel like it's such a weird. You quote such weird things in this movie. Like even the line where she's saying to him, like, "Don't you think it's stupid that you have to go back to school and blah blah blah?" He's like, "Yes, I do." She's like, "Well, as long as you know." Just the way he says, like, "Well, all right," like just randomly, like people, like you quote that, like people have seen
Stop
this movie so
looking
many
at me,
times.
Schwan.
Yes,
Dude,
like you quote
I
that one
die
too.
laughing.
Yeah.
I die laughing. And like this is the thing too, like, you know, a lot of the humor, like you would look at today and be like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't be doing that, whatever that. But when he tells the kid who's reading in class and he's having a hard time, he's like, today.
It's amazing. Yeah.
She hauled him out in the hallway by his ear from that, but
And then he goes,
I
I want
loved
to
I
touch the
loved
hiney.
I loved that maid where she was like
I
you
thought
know,
I
he
was
was
just
all
snack
upset.
back.
She's like, "Do you want me to take my shirt off for you?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Well, remember, baby, the offer is on the table."
Juanita. Oh my
And he said,
God, Juanita.
"If you're going to stay home from school, you can help me shave my armpits." And he's like,
That's
"I'll
the
go to
grossest thing I've
school."
ever heard. Let's go.
Oh my God, Juanita.
And Norm Macdonald is priceless in this movie
He's
too.
so good. Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh. But it took me years
I
to
love-
appreciate the Norm Macdonald. I as a kid I
I
thought it
love
was
the guy
weird.
that at the beginning of the
Now
movie
that
I
I'm
was
my
rewatching
age now,
today,
knowing
and the
Norm
guy
Macdonald.
who's like, "Mr. Madison, there's no penguin. You got too much sun today." That's the guy in Dirty
There's no-
Work, to speak
there's
of
no
Norm Macdonald,
penguin.
who's like, "Anything wrong, I'll punch you in the stomach." Like, all right, well, if that ever comes up, that's Mitch's department, or that's whatever.
Billy, who would you rather bone, Meg Ryan or Jack Nicholson? Nicholson or 74. 74. And then Norm just has this confused look on his face, like, what? When he's like, Meg Ryan.
So good. So, I mean, this is also, you know, a great time capsule of the mid 90s when stupid comedy was back and it was in.
It just
and,
worked. It worked.
Bridget
Honestly,
Wilson. Oh my God. Who doesn't love Bridget Wilson, right? Like, such a stable, like, everyone who lived through the 90s had a major crush on Veronica Vaughn / Sonya Blade.
We all wanted to touch the hiney.
was Sonya Blade. That's the other movie. I was
Sonya
trying to
Blade.
think
Sonya Blade,
Yes.
yes.
Sonya
And
Blade.
You know what's sad is that this is the movie that I know Bradley Whitford from. Anytime I see him in a serious role in the government, I'm like, oh, he was the bad guy in Billy Madison, basically.
I always first think of him as Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise, of course. That's, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which is interesting because he's not.
How dare you bring up that movie? Yeah,
Oh, Nerds in Paradise is a complicated beast, and you know we talked about it on our Nerds episode.
We
but,
did. We did.
You know the
you're talking to a guy that you're talking to a guy that loves the TV movie of 3, The Next Generation. So.
Well, the desire to clean this up. But before I get to my first time getting Madison, I'll do a little attendance call in the chat and class. Let's see who came to class today. We got the Great Whiskey 4-1, Alex Monte himself, Dustin Nino from Retro Fiend Radio, makers of the finest canon and martial arts docs on the net. I gotta get in touch with you, Dustin Nino. Also, Angie Saunders, the mashup genius, Caitlin Albin, America's Next Top Model, Sean Gold's Code himself, Mikey Riffraff, the other mashup genius, Michael Ricci, our favorite location scout, and Cobra Kai Never Dies, our good friend Joanne. So let's see. Mikey Riffraff says, I saw this on VHS at a house. Everyone is just quoting the movie. That sounds like my entire 3 years of middle school. And other than that, the chat is not too chatty today. Oh, Dustin says first time I saw this was a neighbor, but it was with a neighbor and neighbor buddy, and we rented it. Excuse me. We loved all of '90s Sandler. He could do no wrong. I agree. I will go so far as to say that Shakes the Clown and Going Overboard can do no wrong. Even the
That was just gonna listen. I was just gonna bring this up. Okay, the audacity of you people who don't acknowledge Going Overboard. You can go spit and you can go sit on a thumbtack. You dirty people. All right.
It has every place. Going Overboard belongs on a shelf with Last Resort and Captain Ron and these other like mid to be vacation movies. It's that all would have been and should have been and could have been directed by Nico Mastorakis. If they knew what was good for them, they would.
But why is
Put
it
Summer Rental into that one too?
Here's my problem.
Yeah.
Going Overboard is literally Billy Madison. It is the same voice. It's the same jokes. It's the same stupidity. What was the difference?
We weren't ready when Going Overboard came out.
It's the only thing I could think of.
It wasn't packaged right.
The same kind of concept of Speed 2. Like Speed on a boat just didn't go over well.
But it would be boats, like, no. It would be like if Speed 2 came out first and nobody went to go see it, but then Speed on the Bus was the second one, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love this." Like,
well, you would have done Missing in Action 2 the beginning if you knew what was good for you. But
exactly. Well, yeah, but for years I've been trying to understand that.
Why
Going Overboard? Because even
what if we started with Eddie and the Cruiser Part 2 and then went to Part 1?
That's how I came into this wonderful world.
Why don't I just, barf all over the place and go take a crap and then just inhale the smells all night long? Same equivalence as Eddie and the Cruisers 2. But
because you do that every night, so like, what would be different?
Like, stop making this movie a thing. It's not a thing. There's Eddie and the Cruisers, and there's spit. That's it. All right.
You all can tune into the Eddie and the Cruisers episode for this debate, but are here to talk about Billy Madison. So I guess my first getting Madison. This was just like I didn't see any trailers for it coming out in theaters. I just saw the cover and I was like, that's the dude who's Opera Man. And like, I really like him. He did the Turkey song, he did the Hanukkah song, like from SNL. I really like him. That's Adam Sandler. I think he was on the Cosby Show. Let's check this out. And, I feel like you can like both movies still, but I feel like there's certain times where there's just like a preference. You're either like a Tommy guy or a Billy Madison guy, and that was kind of my dividing line. And I loved both movies. I loved Tommy Boy, but I feel like I was more of a Billy Madison person. And I don't know. I think it's just...
no. You explain yourself. I don't understand what this means.
So this is like when you're the breakout guy from SNL and you've got your movie and it's not a recurring character, but it's very Saturday Night Live-ish, and well, which is the one you're gonna watch every weekend versus which is the one you're gonna watch like I don't know, once a month or something.
Well, yeah, and but are you saying Tommy Boy is Bugs Bunny and Billy Madison is Mickey Mouse? You can be one or the other? Is that what you're saying?
No. You can like both. You can absolutely like both. But I feel like you're gonna kind of preferentially prefer one. I feel like no one's gonna be like 50-50 on it.
You like Joel or you like Mike from Mystery Science Theater? You can like both, but you prefer one over the other.
Right, everyone's got to pick a Corey in this crazy world of Asian movie references. You're either a fell dog or a hamster.
Was this Darren McGavin's last movie? I never got around to looking that up, but
he was getting up there.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He was around for quite a long time.
But yeah, it's the last time you see him, I think. Yeah,
it was random to have Darren McGavin as the dad, but I love it. Yeah. Nobody can say "Damn it, Billy" like him. Damn it, Billy.
You get a little bit of a little taste of that the old man from Christmas Story, just a hint of it.
A little bit.
It's a long day of jerk off magazines, and he's kind of waving his arms around.
Nintendos. Oh man, such a classic. Yeah, but every time, I go and I see him in anything else, I'm just like, oh my God, it's Billy Madison's dad. It's one of those things where you sort of never get over that.
That's actually funny because like you mentioned it, like, I think I like I didn't watch SNL. So like, for me, like, I didn't really know who Sandler was. And then when I saw him, I'm like, I probably said the same thing that you just said, Chris. And it's like, oh, that's the dude from the Cosby Show. Like, I remember him from being, part of Theo's crew or whatever case may be, or one of his friends. But I didn't remember like, SNL, whatever case may be. And it was, again, I was late to the party with Billy Madison. I think I went straight to like, like the later movies.
See, what's funny though, I think I don't think it's Tommy Boy versus Billy Madison.
No, I think
it's Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison. I think you prefer. I think some people prefer one or the other.
There's a lot of people that do that. With
I do that. I'm Billy
movies.
Madison. I'm not Happy Gilmore.
I like chicken salad and I like tuna salad. They're both delicious. But I'm thinking about the Tommy Boy thing, and you know what it is? I feel like honestly, Tommy Boy is actually a pretty good story. And like, yes, thank God it was Chris Farley. But like, I feel like it might have worked with some other people in it. Like, it's possible. Whereas like something like Ace Ventura, something like Billy Madison, where it's like only that guy can be this guy.
Yeah,
no one else could have stepped into the role of Billy Madison and like delivered like this for this movie. No one could have done that.
That's why Hot Rod.
Did I freeze again? I feel like I keep freezing. Yeah.
We hear you. You freeze, but we hear you. Yeah. Like the movie Hot Rod.
Yeah, I love Hot Rod.
Like, but it's like, I don't think only. I agree with you because I don't think only Adam Sandberg could have done Hot Rod. I think Jason Sudeikis could have done Hot Rod, and it would have, or Will Forte could have done the lead in that, and it would have been kind of the same movie. But I agree. Only Billy Madison works under Adam Sandler. I just don't think that it works with anybody else.
I always thought there was kind of a trilogy in the 90s, though, because you had Billy Madison, which was the absolute just goofy and ridiculous. Then you go to Happy Gilmore, also goofy and ridiculous, but a little more of a story, a little bit more, I don't know if heart is the right word to it or whatever.
Totally heart. Yeah, you're doing it for grandma,
And then you go to The Wedding Singer, which seems almost a little bit more like a straight legit movie. You got Drew Barrymore in there,
and then Big Daddy, he gets more and more studio
Big Daddy, I think, was
the
90s. But Big Daddy's the top of the mountain, I think.
I thought those
in terms of dollars, yes.
I thought those three in sequence where it was always Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and The Wedding Singer. Those three in that little cluster of the 90s. Those were in that row. But
you're skipping one of my favorite movies of all time, Bulletproof with Damon Wayans, which is a little movie that could, but it just didn't. Oh, shut up. Fuck off. Bulletproof is fucking
Waterboy was around that time
because
too,
that required
I don't need Lethal Weapon Jr. I don't need that. No.
Yes, you absolutely do. Give me the one that doesn't have fucking shitty Mel Gibson in it, and thank God at least I have one of them.
I'm done. I'm going to freaking another country. I can't do this anymore.
It's all been ruined. I love Lethal Weapon more than anything, but it's no Loaded Weapon. I'll tell you that. That's a real masterpiece.
Yeah, I quit.
No. All right, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know Mel Gibson's a member of your fucking country club over there.
No, it's just Loaded Weapon. I'm done.
All right. So there's some pitches in the chat, and it's about time anyways. So
tuning out the rest of the show.
The first pitch. This is from Angie, but it's a pitch from Mike. She says, Billy's daughter ended up running the hotel. She needs Billy's help to stop Eric from trying again to take over the company because he has a rival hotel chain. Well, I like that. There's a little bit of like Secret of My Success, some company merging, and a bit of a yuppie movie there. Billy became an educator. His daughter became a hardcore businessman. There's some father-daughter heart reunion. Sandler could do that. That's A+. I think that's the very solid.
Who plays the daughter though?
So, but didn't he leave the he left the hotel to Carl, right? So he would have to die to get it back again.
Yeah, I guess Carl dies. You big chill it. You open to Carl's funeral or something. I don't know. or yeah, no, that happened a while ago. So you just be all morose. It's Billy Madison.
What
I
if
don't
you
know.
have
Maybe
Adam
there's something.
Sandler just what if you had Adam Sandler just running the hotel and Bradley Whitford is like powerful in Washington D.C. now, and so he's trying to take him down through the government as revenge for not getting no hotels.
Well, he did try
I
to
could see
kill
that.
him.
I like that.
That's true.
I refuse to have any sequel without Bradley Whitford, though. I
He
will
has to be,
stand. I
like,
will stand by
is-
that.
In the
Is he still
pantheon of
alive?
Sandler
Do we-
villains, yeah,
Do we
he's
feel like
great.
he's still alive? Like he survived the bullet?
Oh yeah, he totally survived. Absolutely survived it.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's out there. Yeah, Eric is out there. And not to get too crazy, too soap opera-y, but he could have had a prison love child. Someone could have smuggled his seed out of the joint, and there could be some competition, some younger generations battling. I don't know. Maybe that's a little too Gobukai, but
What if he pays Miss Libby to get him out?
yeah,
These are probably clean
Eric
shut
has a
from
kid
putting that
with
paste on him by now.
Eric, yeah, Eric and Miss Libby have a baby.
He's played by Leslie Jones.
That makes
What,
sense.
Miss Libby?
He's thinking of Juanita, I think.
I'm thinking Juanita. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Juanita.
Just call me crazy. I just assume that might be what you're thinking.
No,
You-
Miss,
you-
oh, Miss
I did the
Libby-
math on that.
Miss Libby's the glue eating one.
Yeah, she was putting it on her eyes and stuff.
Yeah, she was the weird one. No,
Or what about
she married Steve Buscemi.
Oh, that's yeah.
I can see Miss Libby.
Those
and,
two are together, and
Grath or whatever his name
you
was.
have your
Yeah,
Steve Buscemi.
or the mucus queen?
Bradley Whitford. Yeah, mucus lady, exactly. I want to know the fucking honestly, we're pitching sequels already. I would, I want to know the penguin story. What's the deal with that penguin? Like, what's the Jay and Silent Bob and the monkey? Like, how does the origin of the penguin, like Billy Madison 2 and
Oh
March
my
of the
God.
Penguins.
But we have to acknowledge Norm passed away. So like, I wonder if maybe you do.
I got it.
I
got it. I know how you do.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Farley, by the way. So there's two that
he's
you're
out
missing.
there right now. Just
there's two.
waiting
That's
to be
right.
called, but who's the guy that Savage Steve Holland? Okay.
Okay.
I want Savage Steve Holland to direct this, and what I want a claymation scene that brings us back Chris Farley, the Penguin, Norm Macdonald, Darren McGavin. All the people that have passed that were in this movie, they come back in a claymation scene that Billy Madison, I don't know how this fits in the movie, but imagine that he's with his daughter. Let's go with this daughter scenario, right? They're at McDonald's and he throws a pickle on the window and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "I used to do this with my friends." "Oh, who are your friends?" "Oh, let me tell you a tale." "Oh, we do do the weird, Adam Sandler stupid stuff. But it goes to this like claymation scene. And like this is how we get back all of our people. Because I don't want to have somebody look like Chris Farley. I don't have somebody look like Norman.
No Kevin Farley. Yeah.
I don't want that. But give me a claymation thing and we can use their voices from other movies and other clips that were cut out or this or that.
Oh, that sounds like such poor taste. That's like
I don't care, but but if you hear Norm Macdonald's laugh again, you will feel all the fuzzies, Chris, and I know you.
I love Norm Macdonald more than life itself, but sometimes you gotta let the people rest in peace.
You'd have them. They were sitting on the side of the bus eating stolen sack lunches, and another vehicle came along and killed them. And that's how you address that.
Yeah, that's the only way. You just
does
take
work.
from that.
You can do that in a
You
throwaway
whip
line.
cut to like.
It's like they stole some lunches, and this time a bus came by, and they weren't fortunate enough to get out of the way in time, or whatever.
I don't know why, but I think that totally works for this movie. I'm whatever.
Wasn't it Farley and Norm Macdonald eating the kids' lunches on that field trip?
Yeah,
they were
but
actually.
It could also be that maybe Norm decided to get a job as a bus driver, and Farley's showing him how to drive the bus, and it goes over a cliff or something like that. So you don't actually have to like.
It goes
see
over
it.
that banana peel that the O'Doyles drove over.
Hey, why is there a banana peel in the road? Seems like an odd place for a banana peel.
And then Farley goes to swerve and overcorrects, and then that's the end of it.
Boom.
Exactly.
I like that.
Hey, guess
It'll
we
end your
died.
precious field trip. All right, Rufus, you want a cameo? Like my cat wants a cameo. Come
God,
here,
the way
buddy.
that Farley pushes
The
all
whole
that
death
blood to
thing's
his
kinda
face
weird,
after
huh?
he says that, and he's just beat red. He's so great.
But you gotta have
Turn
Chris
this
Farley with
damn
the
bus
penguin.
around.
But you gotta have with the penguin. They end up together at the end of the movie.
But I do like,
Oh,
like
that's
Eric
true,
has
yeah.
to start. Eric has to try to get back at Billy in some way.
Oh, 100%. You gotta have Bradley Whitford doing
The
Bradley
vendetta.
I think the
vendetta
actor
is
that
still
plays
there.
Carl,
Wilford
he's not around.
Brimley comes back.
The actor
Or
that
when
played
we have
Carl, he's not around anymore, is he?
No.
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
I like him a lot. He was on Seinfeld. He was on a lot of things.
What if you have it like when
He
Carl
was
passes
Kramer on
away?
Seinfeld.
Carl passes away, and the hotel is like really losing money and everything else like that, and Billy can't float it, and Eric comes out of nowhere, and Eric's just like, like, oh, I hear the hotel's not doing so good, whatever case may be, and like he's like, I'm gonna buy the hotel, whatever. He's got money, whatever. And Billy has to like come up with like it's kind of like the old story of like the bank now owns the hotel and he has to come up with this money, almost a Happy Gilmore with his grandma's house,
I have an even dumber idea.
I
Because
like that though.
But what if somehow or another, because the plot of Billy Madison 1 is so simple, what if Billy has to go to college? Like there's a new corporate change policy, and in order to be in charge, you have to have a bachelor's degree, and so Billy has to go to college.
Well, I thought that's kind of how the last movie ended. That he was going to college,
but he flunked out.
Teacher.
Oh, okay.
So now he's got to go back to college and get that in 4 years, 4 years and 4 weeks or something.
So okay, just like you want Bradley Whitford, I am not accepting this without Veronica Vaughn. Veronica Vaughn, he doesn't. Yeah, there's no way.
They're married. They're married.
Yeah.
She makes sure he graduates college. I think
And Miss Libby was the actual like pastor, or like she did the ceremonies.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but it has to be almost that similar plot. Like it's a 4 weeks. You have to get your degree. And they're going to do it because the family is going to donate a big endowment to the school if he can get the bachelor's in this time frame.
You're kind of in a back to school type situation.
Ooh, throw a little dash of easy money in there. That like
or Brewster's
the
Millions.
The hotel is in danger and Billy needs the inheritance or something, but in the will it says he has to do X, Y, and Z. He has to run the
Brewster's
hotel.
Millions.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Brewster's Millions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Throwing a little bit of that, and I think we're golden here.
I think that'd be great.
I think that's pretty solid.
Do that. I like.
And you
I
get
like
crazy, like you get crazy professors. Like I don't know why, but I would love. I mean, you get all of his Sandler people to be college professors. So
John Lovitz. I so need John Lovitz.
Oh, John Lovitz
would be great
as an English teacher.
Oh, that'd be so great.
So
great.
Who the guy who plays the guy in Grandma's Boy?
Kevin Wedding Singer and everything too.
David Spade.
What's his name? The older one.
His best friend.
Oh, Alan Cover.
Yeah. He's the president of the university, and it's like the craziest. Like, actually, no, Kevin Nealon.
I can see Peter. Yeah, Peter Dante. Yeah, get all those guys. All the I call them the Happy Madison guys.
The Happy Madison. I
Buscemi.
mean,
Buscemi could be like a social studies teacher or something like that.
You can leave Rob Schneider at home.
No.
Oh yeah.
You know what? You have Buscemi save the day at the end by shooting somebody in the ass again.
Absolutely.
End it the same way as the first one.
Well, no, you know who the
Buscemi gets away with murder by just doing self-defense.
I didn't even think about this. Bradley Whitford is the Vernon. He's the president. He now is the owner or the president.
He's the headmaster of the college that Billy goes to.
Now you're back. Now we're treading onto old school territory, though, a little bit.
Yeah, it's all the same damn thing.
No, it's not. No, PCU is above all these other college movies. Sorry, sadly. It's true.
Not the back to school though. Not
Yeah,
better
back
than
to school. Okay, I know you're right. Back to school is great. It's 80s. It predates everything since.
Well, it has to be education somehow or another. You got, that's what made the first one.
Yeah,
I mean,
like that.
yes, you have to give him the thing. He's got to do the thing. And I was gonna say, it almost has to be a little bit like I get a little bit of Ghostbusters 2 vibes with this, where it's like you sort of have to undo the progress that was made. You have to set him back 5 years so you can get to the first movie again. Like that would be out of business.
Really.
Like
here you have Billy's running the hotel, but he got a degree in teaching, not in business. And Bradley Whitford went in there and he's like, you can't run this hotel. We're going to sue because you don't have a business degree. So now he's got to get a 4-year business degree to hang on to the hotel.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
And so he and they're going to do a big endowment to the school, so they let him come in.
There was like a loophole in the contract, so to speak, or whatever it could be.
He gets an honorary business degree, but he has to do 4 weeks of studying. So he's got to do 4 years of college in 4 weeks.
But he was 10 years too old to be in college last time, so now he's 40 years too old. And obviously there's comedy to mine there, I think, without getting a little too crotchety and get off my lawn about it. But Adam Sandler is so stuck in the 90s, he's such a product of that time, and like he still dresses very much that way. The huge
it's funny
shorts
because in Billy Madison, he pulls up, which I always thought was funny because when he gets to high school, he shows up in a Trans Am.
He's all like whipping up the 80s, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why weren't you driving around in this Trans Am with your buddies when you're putting shit on people's doorsteps and stuff? I mean, he was acting like he didn't own a car otherwise, but it's like he whips this thing out. And
it's called poo.
And nowadays you pull up in a black Trans Am from the 70s like that, people are going to think, wow, that's actually a bitchin' car, man. That's pretty badass.
Well, the funny part is he's going to want to go to have a party. Like he's going to want to have Animal House dorm. And I can tell you right now, all those nerds are playing Minecraft and sitting in the dark. And he's going to have no clue what this college life is. This is like the worst,
Well, and then you get that fish out of water thing because the same thing. He thinks that it's all frat parties and crazy drinking, and then that brings your penguin back again. But actually, people are really trying to get their high GPAs and whatever. He's trying to coerce them into partying, and maybe he learns to loosen up the really uptight college students a little bit, but they bring him up to speed on the academic levels because he's trying to party too much. But
so there's a title only pitch in the chat, and you might want to cover your ears, Ian, because this one comes from Gold's Code, but it's just the title. All he has, I think, is he says he can't stay, but I wanted to pitch Billy Bourne. So somehow the fate of the hotel, comes down to a race down Devil's Backbone.
Billy Bourne sounds like a beer from the 80s.
It kind of does. It also sounds like something that like
have a cold glass of Billy Bourne.
Air Billy,
like the
Air Billy.
Like that's the beer they serve at the fucking slaughtered lamb in American Werewolf in London or something. Have a case of Billy Bone before you get slaughtered out there.
Air Billy is the Zima, the new Zima.
Air Billy.
Oh man!
Oh, Air
Madison.
Madison.
Rancher in there, and you're good.
Gross.
Air Madison actually sounds like it would be Paris Hilton's best friend.
Oh my God, you're right. They named their kid Air.
Air Madison.
Air Madison.
Paris Hilton, yeah. And Holiday Inn person.
Which dang it. No, that is back to school. I was like, well, Billy Madison's daughter is at college, but that's totally back to school.
You know what though? Daughter's kind of giving me different enough vibes that I'd be like okay with it, because instead of trying to get his kid to loosen up, he's trying to get his kid to stop partying. Now Billy's the
because you can make his kid a hotel heiress like Paris Hilton.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, there's a little bit of this.
So then maybe she hasn't gone to college. He wants to give her the hotels, and she's just like an Instagram influencer. She's famous just for the sake of being famous, and it's like no, you got to get education.
So he turns it around. He said you have to go back to school. Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to go to school with you for the last 4 weeks of school. Because
this movie doesn't work if it's not Adam Sandler centric. He has to.
It doesn't have to be
focal point, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
But
just like just like he's doing it for his grandma and Happy Gilmore, he's doing it for his daughter this time around. I think we all kind of agree on that.
Yeah.
And that's where the heart comes through. And, yeah, you just lean into him. And
there is a lunch lady in the college cafeteria
serving sloppy joes.
Serving sloppy joes, and
you're still scaring us.
That's funny.
So many weird little things, I think my favorite scene, the scene that really hooked me the first time I saw it. I mean, I loved it from the jump, but like I knew that it was a classic when it got to Odd Tumble for You. Like as soon as that happened, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I know this is amazing.
Well, what about the clown
Sandler
on the stilts that falls over and it starts bleeding out of his mouth just randomly? I always thought that was such an out of place scene too, where he just kind of trips.
You thought I was dead.
That's kind of like up there with the curtain going over Lovitz's face in The Wedding Singer,
Yeah.
He just has this like sort of twisted, dark, side to some of his jokes, which I love.
But how great would it be, John? Just a scene of John Lovitz teaching theater, and he's just doing the worst
acting.
He's just doing the worst rendition ever. But then you get a recap of Billy Madison doing the to die, to
the Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it.
I like that. Yeah.
It's blue.
Jealous. So there is another pitch in the chat. This one comes from Whiskey 41. So his pitch: the Madison Budapest has an unruly guest breaking guests' wrists and groping staff. Since the local government and PD are paid off, it's up to Billy to go Happy Gilmore on Steven Seagal's ass in Billy Madison 2. Ooh, I like that. That is a good one. That's a little bit more serious than some of the other Seagal pitches you've made on the show. Like there's usually some kind of sandwich eating or some sort of intense mockery of Seagal going on. I guess you lean into the groping. It's like Charlie Sheen. There's plenty to mine from.
Oh, this is just again. It's the cameo factors are just endless. I mean, Rob Schneider's teaching spirituality.
No, he's not.
That got it. Stop hating my sweet Rob Schneider.
I don't like Rob Schneider,
jerk.
I like you call him Robbie, like your guys like old fucking friends, like used to ride the bike to the country
I was
club
there
together.
for the animal. Shut up. All right.
I was there for the animal. I saw the animal in Philadelphia.
Oh,
don't tell me.
Good movie.
You've also got to make sure we get snack packs worked into the script somehow too.
Super crucial.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have the snack pack.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the sports competition. It's a talent night, and he has to compete.
Pudding eating contest.
A pudding eating contest with the bully.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's got to be a scene where like Eric poisons his snack pack, or he doses him with like LSD, something where he trips out and you get crazy classic Sandler.
That's how you get your penguin in there.
Oh, the penguin returns.
That's how you get the scene with the stop motion.
They drop LSD in his snack pack, and then boom. Then you get everyone's happy. Then you get your stop motion scene.
This is a good. I'm sorry. We pitched some movies before. I actually want to see this movie. Don't give me this Herbie. Don't give me this Herbie Halloween bull farts.
Herbie Halloween is good.
No, you're sick. You're sick.
Normally I try and shy away from the kids and the next generation stuff. In this case, I think it does really fit, and I feel like it's due to work eventually. They've failed with that every goddamn time they've tried. But I feel like
what they're gonna do is set it in fucking Hawaii, and Sandler will go shoot that shit.
That's true. Yeah, if you put Drew Barrymore in it, he will shoot that shit, whatever it is. Or
you set it in Hawaii or the Bahamas or someplace where it's like vacation.
If Netflix builds it, he will come. Let's be real.
They have another hotel in Hawaii.
That's their base hotel, is maybe a resort in Hawaii or the Bahamas or whatever. And they had to import snack packs to get it there.
But he doesn't do it. I accept nothing unless he wears this hat. That is the Billy Madison look, is this hat.
Well, he probably doesn't wear it at first.
That's like when Mad Max goes and gets his old gear when he's ready to go out and kick some ass. Exactly. Billy's like, I'm going to break out my old shit. I'm going to put on my hat and my Hawaiian shirt.
That's
Yeah.
like Indiana Jones's hat, and once he puts it on, it's snack pack time.
Yeah.
But no, you get Bradley Whitford as the principal or the president of the university, just
Okay.
every step.
Okay, but it's super important now. There's one character that I hope to God is still alive, and he was in a lot of Sandler movies. The revolting blob, the principal. I need him back. I need the revolting blob to like make make the save at the
He's a math tutor in the library.
I don't know. I think he gets back into wrestling maybe, and
Well,
like
he's doing that on the side. He's still a wrestler. Like
he has a big
full
match with
market.
Captain Insano.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Sandler verse. Don't tease me now. It's all canon. It all goes together. Technically, yeah, there was the lawyer thing, from Big Daddy. That could tie in if the daughter gets in legal trouble. Just saying.
On some former level, you get the dog from Little Nicky.
Oh.
You get Robert Smigel.
Oh, anything to avoid. The voices where Sandler talks like this. It's just the worst. I can't deal with it.
I love Little Nicky. You guys are insane.
No, it's a cute movie. It's great to watch once and then never again. It's really fun, 90 minutes if you're stoned. Yeah, that's about all I can say.
Sandler's comedy CD come out before. I can't remember. Sandler had that comedy CD that came out with some music and some skits on it. Was that before or after Billy Madison?
Oh, that was before like all that shit.
I think it was the CD and then it was Billy Madison.
That's right. I forgot about those CDs. Yeah, those CDs were huge.
Oh,
everyone
had those.
Yeah.
No.
But I just remember that being like, and in my memory or in my mind, I'm thinking like one of the last like comedy CDs or comedy albums.
Yeah, that was one of the last like ones. That was like the Jerky Boys and like the Adam Sandler like albums. Those are like the last ones that got like passed around school and shit. Kids would be like listening in the lunchroom. How we have not done a fucking Jerky Boys episode yet is beyond me. But
because of the movie
sucks.
But
it sucks so goddamn good though. Like it really does. It sucks so good. You know it. You know it's true.
The Jerky Boys is an SNL movie of like an SNL character expanding to an hour and a half. Not worth it.
No, it's absolutely worth it. It's like Stuart Saves His Family. You think it shouldn't be, but somehow it is.
God dang, I love Stuart Saves His Family.
I love it too. And I'm telling you, there's a world where they're all having a beer together. Stuart, well, a non-alcoholic beer probably for him. And
Senator Al Franken.
Oh yes. God, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, he's a senator or a former senator.
He was former,
why does everything get so complicated? Well, back to the lecture at hand. Billy Madison. So the revolting blob, how does you think he's the library? I don't know. I want him like wrestling. I want him in action, not just
the wrestling coach.
There you go. All right, you got me.
You know what? It's a thing where you got to go back. And he's just got a cameo where, like, for some reason they need to consult with him on something. Do you know what I mean?
I need him to give like Coach Finstock vibes from Teen Wolf. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what?
Let me tell you something, Billy.
They go to meet him. They go to visit him because they need advice or guidance or whatever. And he's at home in his revolting blob costume, but he's just watching wrestling on TV. But he's got the mask on and a cape.
I love that.
And no shirt. He's just there.
I love that.
Watching it.
Oh yeah, we got to go see Max, and it's like you think it's an arena, but then you realize it's on TV, and he's just watching at his house.
Pulls away a little bit further, and all of a sudden it's just him on the couch.
Yeah. It's like he's getting ready. He's like putting the mask on, and you think he's like in
there's only one
locker
man
room.
Who can help us with this, and then it cuts to the TV of a wrestling thing, and as the camera pulls back, he's just sitting on a lazy boy with a beer in his hand, but in costume.
At the end of the movie, though, he has to take over for Eric as the headmaster of the college.
There you go.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
and then Steve Buscemi is a security guard on campus, I think.
And he finally kills Eric.
Security.
This
He's a
Although-
security consultant to them for whatever they need to do that way.
Maybe him and Eric wind up together because he's still horny.
Oh god.
Just the funniest subplot. It's so gross, but it's just hilarious. Oh man! All right, what
Good
about
to
Bridget?
see you.
What about Bridget? How does Bridget fit in? We got to give her something to do other than just be there.
I think she works at the college. She teaches. Veronica's gone from the classroom. She got a job teaching college, teaching. Now she teaches education courses at the school, and she's not a main character, but she's just kind of there to support him in this idea. Like,
How do you have her not just be there? She's kind of just there.
well,
She's not
what
a
I'm
main
saying?
character.
She doesn't have to be a main character throughout like the first one, but she's at the coffee table at the diner drinking coffee while he's
Fuck it. If it's going to be a sequel to a 90s, just go with the 90s trope of the estranged couple where the crisis brings them together at the end.
That is the way
they
to
didn't do
do
that
it.
a million times in the 90s. You know what I mean?
But I also need the kid that was reading out loud that Billy made fun of. I need him to be a teacher. And then when Billy's like, like in class and he's like,
today,
he's like, today, Billy.
Well, they did become friends, you know.
Like they had the real chubby kid where he's like pinching his cheek and he's like, he's like, stay as long as you can. And he's just like squishing his face.
Oh my god. Just you have a wrestling match, and of course the person wins and gets up. Doyle rules.
But he has to go to his friend too, the kid that became his best friend. He's got to go back to
Ernie.
him for help too, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking
Ernie's
about
the
Ernie.
science teacher at the college.
Bradley,
Everyone works in
villain,
this
and
fucking college. Just call it California University.
Oh my god,
and
listen.
call it a day.
It works.
This is a movie, bro. We can make them all teachers.
That's right. In your face.
We'll make it the Christmas Carol of fucking Billy Madison.
Here's what you do though.
He's
have
an assistant
Bradley
provost.
Whitford.
Okay, is that better? Does that make you happier? He's a normal guy in the background who's going to die a miserable life. Calm down, all right?
And then he does the triple Lindy. Sorry, what were you going to say, Scott?
Have Bradley Whitford as the bad guy, but he employs the O'Doyles as his henchmen, sort of.
Oh,
do the thing.
Bodyguard.
Okay, yes. I like
Doyle
that.
is a security guard at the campus.
The O'Doyles
love
put
that.
the acid in his snack packs.
Yeah, I like that.
That works.
Yeah,
I
well,
like that.
the dickhead teacher is an O'Doyle too. Yeah, there's an O'Doyle in this college. There's an O'Doyle teaching him, like the back to school teacher, the like snooty, like O'Doyle.
The O'Doyles are like the janitor, the one that he's like a janitor with some really shitty kids.
Oh, fucking Bill Burr's got to be an O'Doyle because he's a ginger.
There you
and
go.
that's the
Oh,
best
Bill
thing.
Burr. I'm game on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Put him in there as a fucking professor that hates Adam Sandler, and that would be pretty good. I think that.
What's your name? Professor O'Doyle. God dang it, O'Doyle's.
Or he could be
O'Doyle's
Bradley Whitford's
rule.
kid, also. Yeah.
I like
Or Bradley
Bill Burr.
Whitford's brother or something. Yeah, Bill Burr in this for sure.
So then in O'Doyle's classroom, it says on the board O'Doyle rules, and then it's
O'Doyle
got little
rules.
rules bullet pointed underneath it. So it's like his
Oh
That's
yeah, like
good,
the Jordan
that's good.
rules. Like if Billy
no
Madison
talking,
comes
no
down the
chewing
lane, you
gum, no food in class, no soda, that kind of thing. Just like
Mortal
No,
Kombat
no.
is the best video game ever. Donkey Kong sucks. These are the O'Doyle rules.
Oh, there's a great scene where
No dodgeball.
there's a
No
great scene where
dodgeball.
you have to be they're taking a test and you have to be absolutely silent by taking the test. And Bradley Whitford is is on the looking glass looking in, and he's like doing that stuff like he used to, where he's like, and you just get like Adam Sandler like, what did you
gibberish.
just a scene like that totally works,
Get the hell out of here.
Well, let's see how Happy Gilmore 2 comes out before
Yeah.
we say like he can go back and redo.
Well, I just figured with that coming soon, this, may be our last chance to do some classic Sandler. Unfortunately, we can't do a Bulletproof episode, I don't think, because they actually did a sequel to that semi-recently. So
they did.
and
you can rest easy.
yeah, it's called They Shut It Off. end. Good, thank you.
There's a zinger.
They did do a sequel?
They did. It's a direct-to-video thing. Well, we'll talk about that maybe another day. I don't know. We'll save that for a future Sandler endeavor when we do Big Daddy 3 or something. But
when we do Jack and Jill Part 2.
Well, before we get to all that, is there anything you guys have got coming up in the works that you want to let the home audience know about? Ian, Scott, Mickey, don't everyone go at once now.
Yes, you can look at my new B movie article or B movie challenge on a 1960s terrible brand blood looking movie called The Ghastly Ones, which absolutely the movie lives up to its title that it is ghastly. But you can find that, or you can follow, and you can look at that if you follow me on Instagram on klink.ian. So
you're a sick man. That's all I have to say.
I do kind of question my existence every time I watch one of these movies, but
the fact that you're allowed to teach these things to others should be a crime, but it's also free speech, so we celebrate it.
You don't know what a 5-star burger is until you've eaten a garbage can burger. What do you want from me?
I cannot argue with that.
Probably you ate that at the gas station pizza.
I want
Well, if there's nothing else in the goings on of upcoming events, I guess it's time for me to say that you Fandom fans might want to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we treat ourselves to tasty waves and a cool buzz for our Fast Times at Ridgemont High episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom Spotlight and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Shampoo is better.